Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope everyone who's tuning in today is doing super fantastic. Before I get into this episode, I do want to say make sure you're following me on my socials at a Tall Girls podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest so that you can stay up to date on all of the latest podcast episodes and catch a glimpse of my everyday life. Also, feel free to leave me a review and let me know how tall you are. I'm genuinely curious. And I have a monthly newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to that. Everything is going to be linked in the description. We're just going to get straight into this episode. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and I stumbled upon home renovation talk. That side of TikTok where we see a lot of home renovations, people decorating their homes, people renovating their homes, building homes even. Stuff like that. And I came across a very interesting TikTok video. I'm just gonna play that for you right now.
We're a tall family and just finished building a custom home to fit us. The easiest way to do this was with taller ceilings and doors, so we installed 8-foot doors throughout the whole house. We also raised our kitchen countertops 4 inches. That alone is the most comfortable part of our home. We not only have a better working space to cut and cook on, but our appliances also sit 4 inches higher. It's not a lot, but it makes a huge difference. Even our guests that are more average height really love the height of this countertop. But of course, anyone who can't reach is more than welcome to borrow our son's toddler tower. We're happy to accommodate. We did leave the majority of the other countertops in our house at a standard height like in the guest bathroom, but any tall person can tell you how frustrating it is to have to bend over to take a shower. So every shower head in the house has been raised. We even put adjustable mirrors in the guest bathroom so everyone could be comfortable. Follow to watch as we turn our house into a home.
And that's how you know TikTok really be monitoring you, because how did they know that I was tall? And a video like this would have been very, very cool for me to see, honestly, because I struggle with the same things that they struggle with. I don't know if you heard what they said, what she said in the beginning of that video. She said they just finished a custom home, like from scratch. And in that video, they weren't sitting on a pile of wood, but they were sitting around a pile. Okay, in the beginning of the video, it basically just indicated that they were working on this home, well, obviously having other people work on the home, but they were just sitting on some type of platform, I believe, and there was just a bunch of wood around, implying that this home was actually being built like from scratch. And I'm like, oh, okay, you must be rich, because to build a home from scratch, it can cost anywhere from $100K to $1 million. So there's that. So in this video, they had raised countertops, 8-foot doorways, 10-foot ceilings, as well as a bunch of other things. And the creator basically just documents her journey of creating a home that's great for her tall family. I'm probably going to include some of her videos within this episode too, so you could check that out. She's like one of the main creators for the home renovation regarding tall people that I've seen that day when I was scrolling through TikTok. But I saw like this whole slew of other people, other tall people also renovating their home. I'm gonna include another clip right now.
3 ways we designed our house for tall people. My husband and I are both over 6 feet tall, and I was ecstatic to find this vanity that's about 5 inches taller than normal. We set our showers super high and did the same with our closets, which actually we can even fit dressers underneath.
And it's not just some of us tall people renovating and customizing homes. There are also tall friendly apartments. Like some of us are lucking out and finding tall friendly apartments. There are certain apartments that have counters, sinks, etc. that are higher up, even cabinets that are higher up and can cater to us tall people. What I'm trying to say is that this whole thing isn't free. Customizing and renovating your home so it can fit your height needs, height standards, height requirements, whatever that may be, whatever the term is. Renovating and customizing your home like that is not free. These home renovations and customizations can cost quite a bit of money. So how much does it cost to make a home tall friendly? So glad you inquired. Increasing the height of a doorway can cost up to $1,000 per doorway. Raising countertops can cost up to $3,000. Raising a ceiling, several $1,000s. And we haven't even gotten to the specialized features like tall friendly closets or tall friendly furniture. What are your thoughts? And obviously this is dependent on a lot of things like the cost of labor, materials, even where you live. But if you don't believe me that there are pretty high costs to customizing your home to be tall friendly, let's check out this clip of a creator basically talking about how much it cost her to raise her countertops.
We are a tall family that had our house custom built to accommodate our height. The biggest customization that we made was our cabinetry, so let me show that to you. Most kitchen counters sit at about 36 inches. But quite frankly, it's not really comfortable for us. So we had all of the base cabinets in our kitchen built 4 inches taller. And now our countertops sit at 40 inches tall. Here's a quick comparison. These built-ins are at the standard height. These are our kitchen cabinets. And this is our primary bathroom, which was actually raised 6 inches. Taller cabinets also meant that we had to make some modifications for our appliances. So both our dishwasher and our range sit on 4-inch platforms. You might be curious how much this cost. For all of the base cabinets and island in the kitchen and the primary bathroom, the difference cost us about $1,200. It's by far one of the best decisions we made.
So after hearing this information, you may be wondering, why would a tall person spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to renovate their homes, to customize their homes to their height needs? It's simple. Being tall in an average home or apartment sucks. You get neck pain from washing dishes, back pain from cooking and cleaning. It's literally gotten to the point where I have to sit in a chair while cutting vegetables. Yes. It's that bad. And if you're extra lucky, you get head pain from hitting your head on low door frames and ceiling fans. Can anyone else relate? It's very common to think that a lot of the posture issues that tall people face come from social settings or even work settings, like when talking to people who are shorter than you and you're slouching or hunching over a laptop or a computer, especially if you have a lower desk, trying to make yourself smaller in pictures, things like that. But I also sometimes feel like people neglect to realize how much our everyday lives, our everyday habits also play a big part in our posture. In our everyday lives, we are dealing with low sinks, low countertops, low cabinets, even uncomfortable furniture. These things affect how we walk in our homes, how we sit, even how we sleep every single day. So when we say that the pain is real, we mean it. So in our everyday lives, including in our own homes, our posture is negatively impacted, which is why many of us also struggle with a lot of pain and even postural issues. In fact, you're not prepared for this. Tall people are more likely to experience back and neck pain, rounded shoulders, tech neck, hunchback, pelvic tilt, sway back, scoliosis, thoracic outlet syndrome. Literally, why is it getting progressively worse as the list goes on? All because of the daily habits we've developed to navigate an environment that wasn't made for us. Let's hear from a tall person's experience.
Hi everyone, I recently moved into my new apartment. I've been here for like 3 days and it's really nice, but here are some things that I've noticed. Whoever designed this apartment designed it for a short person. And there's nothing wrong with being short. I, however, am 5'10". This is where the countertops come up on me. So when I'm cutting things, I have to be hunched over. And I think it makes it worse the cabinets are really low, but this is worse. When I have to take a shower, this is where the shower head will hit me on my shoulder. If I wanted to hit my head, I have to squat. I don't get it.
I remember when this was very popular on TikTok. I just want to include this really quickly.
My back is hurting from the chair I'm sitting on. Where's the Tylenol? If I lay down flat on the floor, it usually kind of fixes it.
Shout out to you if you can definitely relate to that. But back to home renovations, it can get pretty expensive, and this isn't even including the furniture like sofas, standing desks or taller desks, beds that are long enough. And then on top of that, if you are suffering from any of these postural issues, you may also have to pay for those chiropractic and physical therapy sessions or any medications that you may have to take for your pain or any of your issues. Now, after talking about just those two features, it's no doubt that being tall is expensive, which brings me to an unpopular opinion that I found on the internet. Tall people deserve to make more money. They said it, not me. Now, am I biased? A little, But with transportation, clothing, and now home renovations and customizations to cater to our needs, I can't help but think that that would be nice. But I mean, obviously, I'm personally taking it as a joke because you should be paying more money to people who actually deserve it, like qualified people. And if that qualified person happens to be tall, then yes, pay them more money, give them a promotion based on their skills and so forth. We really shouldn't be basing it on height. But I can't help but think about the studies that show that tall people tend to get paid more money. Do y'all remember that? Do you remember when those studies came out showing that tall people tend to make more money and people were mad about it? I think we may have found the reason why. Clothing tends to be more expensive, whether from tall specialty brands or doing alterations and custom fits. Home renovations and tall friendly furniture are extra costs. Paying extra for roomy airplane seats and some tall people buy larger cars. Healthcare costs for increased health risks. Some people are saying we buy more food, and the list goes on and on. Do you think that being tall is expensive? I personally do. So the world isn't made for us and we have to pay extra just to live in it? Gotta love that. Let's hear from this creator.
So there's studies showing that the taller you are, generally the more you make on average. And I used to think that's not really fair. Just because you're taller, you make more money. But then I thought about it, and if you adjust for the cost of living increases that come with being tall, like you have to eat more, you have to have a bigger car to be comfortable, you have to buy bigger plane seats, bigger clothes, like in general, you just consume more and your cost of living is more. I'm like, maybe it all works out then, probably is about the same.
But I mean, even though being tall can be very expensive, it's dependent on a lot of things. It's dependent on your current lifestyle. It's dependent on your needs. It's even dependent on how much money you make, because I don't think that, because a lot of these things are honestly just extra stuff, add-ons, stuff that isn't really necessary to live, but it can make life a bit more comfortable. It's not a necessity, but it's something that is like a good to have. It's just very interesting to see how your height can affect your cost of living. But hey, if you're tired of the home renovations and not being able to find homes and apartments that aren't suitable for your height, you can always be like this 6'5" guy who built a tiny home and lives in it, or lived in it. I don't know if he still lives in there. I should probably double check that. I don't know if y'all saw this, but there was literally this guy who is 6'5" and he spent thousands of dollars to build a custom tiny home. And he included a few special needs that were must-haves in his home. I'm assuming probably because of his height, but maybe he got so fed up with the cost of being tall that he said, screw it, I'ma just make my own tiny home and keep my costs down but have what I need. But hey, you never know. It's funny, but also pretty cool. I'm probably going to include a link of that article in the description. But anyways, I'm going to end the episode here. It's so weird I'm ending the episode on a tiny house. But the whole main thing is being tall can be expensive with healthcare costs and clothing and transportation needs, whether on airplanes or even cars, homes, home customizations and renovations, and so forth. Honestly, it just costs more money. It costs money, yes, money squared to make things suitable for us. So that's very interesting. I would like to hear your thoughts. You can comment below. You can send me a DM, a message, an email. All of my socials are going to be linked at Tall Girls Podcast, and you can hit me up and we can have a conversation about this. And I would like to hear more about your experiences as well. I think it's very interesting to see how different tall people make their things within their unique lives cater to them and suitable for their needs based on their height. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Good night and goodbye.